You guys, we have a major breaking news that even till this point, it is only Ghana that is pushing for the slave trade to become a crime against humanity. And the question is, where are the other African countries?
At the United Nations, Ghana, led by John Dramani Mahama, pushed a historic resolution to officially recognize the transatlantic slave trade as a grievous crime against humanity.
Truth begins with language, with the power that words hold to shape consciousness.
And the results, amazing. 123 countries voted yes, 3 countries voted no. But 2 countries stood out, Benin and Madagascar, because they didn't show up to vote at all. They didn't show up to vote. They didn't oppose Ghana, they didn't abstain. They were simply absent. And in diplomacy, absence can mean one thing, that is avoiding a sensitive position. And that was exactly these 2 countries decided to do.
And to shift perspectives to propel an action or other.
And social media commentators have already noticed this and already asking Africans why Africans allow Ghana to be a lone ranger, to push for this through alone.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
While a number of Africans keep even calling for Black Americans to visit them. Recently, there was a video about Dada Clevet, a guy from Cameroon, asking why Black Americans only visit Ghana and don't go to other African countries.
Almost 3 a.m. I will not sleep until I address Black Americans today. Dear Black Americans, I'm begging you in the name of ancestors who didn't leave Africa through one airport. I'm begging you in the name of West and Central African coastline. I'm begging you in the name of map of Africa. I'm begging you in the name of African countries who didn't hire PR teams. I'm begging you in the name of ancestors who didn't leave Africa from one zip code. Please, stop treating Africa like it's a country group project where only Ghana did their homework. Yes, Ghana is beautiful. The history is powerful. The castles are still standing. But use your brain and your passport. Your roots didn't come from one departure gate. They were taken from across West and Central African coasts, from different languages, different cultures, different tribes and kingdoms. Africa is made up of 54 countries. Not buy one, take one destination. Every time you guys go to the motherland, you post about Ghana. There are other parts of Africa where history was made, like the Bimbia slave trade port in Cameroon. This site still exists today. History happened in this place. Ancestors, they passed through there too, but it's not trending, it's quiet. Are we trying to erase that part of history? Have you guys forgotten that your DNA is layered? Your DNA is mixed. Your DNA is regional. Your DNA is continental.
But when it was time to even just support Ghana and be part of history, most of these countries refuse to do that. But here's where it gets even interesting. In fact, Benin is one of the most important slave heritage destinations in the world. In Benin, there is a place called Oda, which is home to the famous Door of No Return. And this place attracts thousands of visitors every year, especially African Americans and the diasporan communities coming to reconnect with their history. And with events like the Voodoo Festival, which draw global attention and bring in tourism revenue. So now the biggest question is that if a country benefits from preserving and showcasing slave history, why step back when it's time to politically define that history at the global level? Is it diplomacy? Is it caution? Or is it something deeper? Then there is Madagascar, which is also connected to slave system in the Indian Ocean. And just like Benin, they were also absent. No vote, no explanation publicly highlighted. They were just quiet and their vote went wasted. Now, this has sparked reactions online with people asking that, how can countries connected to this history stay silent? And the question is spreading very fast, especially on TikTok.
You guys, we have a major breaking news that even till this point, it is only Ghana that is pushing for the slave trade to become a crime against humanity. And the question is, where are the other African country, prime minister, president, whatsoever they represent? Why are they not speaking? Why is it only Ghanaians that are speaking? Now, according to Al Jazeera News, Ghana pushed for slave trade to be declared a crime against humanity at a Latin American and a Caribbean forum in Bogota, Colombia. Ghana foreign minister proposed a resolution recognizing the transatlantic slave trade as a crime against humanity and right to reparation. But even up till now, nobody is speaking apart from Ghana. That's not fair. And then a lot of people will come and be like, nobody needs reparation. Reparation should not be given. Slave owners were given reparation when they abolished slave trade. Slave owners were given reparation for the fact that they were no longer trading people. Why is it so bad that reparation cannot be given to those transatlantic, which is the main slave descendants? Why? And why is it only Ghana that kept pushing this? Why is it that there is no news that is carrying that other African leaders are saying it? It is well. Ghana, we are proud of you guys, honestly.
Now, let's address something very quick, because it wasn't only these two countries. The rest of the African Union supported on book, but they never even came up to add their voice or even came to the plenary to support Ghana's president. He did it all alone. Africa did not just reject Ghana. In fact, many African countries voted in favor as part of the 123 yes vote. And the African Union has long supported recognition of slavery's impact. But here's the real issue people notice. Where were the voices? Because unlike Brazil's president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who spoke strongly, there was no voice, visible wave of African leaders speaking publicly at that event. Now, analysts have suggested a few reasons which may have contributed to this. So, one of the reasons they suggest is, number one, diplomatic caution, sensitivity around historical rules, and fear of reopening global debate on reparations. Because once you declare something the gravest crime, it changes the global conversation permanently.
The Assembly is now voting on draft resolution A/80/L48 entitled Declaration of the Trafficking of Enslaved Africans and Racialized Chattel Enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity. Will all delegations confirm that their votes are accurately reflected on the screen? The voting has been completed. Please lock the machine.
Truth begins with language, with the power that words hold to shape consciousness and to shift perspectives to propel an action or other. I therefore offer this truth as a starting point. There's no such thing as a slave. There were human beings who were trafficked and then enslaved by people who believed they could own those human beings as chattels, as their personal property. Some will hear this and think I'm splitting hairs. Isn't that the same thing, they might ask? No, it's not. Not at all the same thing. Not if you acknowledge an individual's humanity.
So this story is no longer about just a vote, but it's about something deeper, and who is ready to confront history and who prefers to approach it quietly. Ghana made a bold move, but the silence from some African countries, especially those connected to that history, has raised even bigger questions, because in moments like this, silence can speak just as loudly as words.
Not if you respect an individual's basic right to dignity. The entire transatlantic slave trade was designed to deny African people their humanity. And that denial was premised on a racial hierarchy with no basis in fact or science, a racial hierarchy that deemed whiteness superior and blackness inferior. The atrocities that were committed against enslaved Africans, the myriads of injustice that were born of slavery and carried forward into successive social framework, took place specifically because those persons were considered objects, not human beings. So when discussing slavery and its resulting institutions and practices, we must always start by reclaiming racial equality, the dignity of Africans, the humanity of our ancestors who were enslaved, and as a matter of course, our own humanity.
And so to you watching, I'm asking you that, what do you think was the reasons why Benin and Madagascar, who profit from slavery, decided not to show up? And why did even the other African countries decided to keep quiet? Let me know what you think in the comment section. It's a wrap for today.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. That was quite a surprise. Yeah, but thank you for that beautiful display of African culture.